Welcome back, everybody. And Mickey finally rolled 6 on the Mickey dice. And once again, we had Syndra versus LeBlanc matchup. But this time around, LeBlanc was paired up with Lee Sin to go a little bit stronger. But at the same time, LeBlanc took Cleanse to go a little bit more safely. Trundle doesn't have much ability to hop over the wall, but Lee Sin and LeBlanc, they are really having a high level of mobility. So Faith was really impressive to see Faith locking in Syndra up against Lee Sin and LeBlanc combo. They also took a deep care of the support roam play, but Flawless made a very clean kill in the early phase of the game with his gank, and Syndra was not able to roam around the map, whereas Lee Sin and LeBlanc was having full control all over the 3 lanes. Syndra could accelerate his gap by pushing wave really hard, but well, the game was not easy for both sides, to be honest. SeolHaeOne and Prince, they took away Aphelios, looking for the Mr. 200 year to come online. And there was a huge turn of events that allowed Aphelios to have much more space to boost his scaling. Watch over here, Iksu was pushing lane on the top side, which means SeolHaeOne and Prince has the tempo to pull off a setup here. Blitz missing his hook was also really critical, and Iksu was also able to come in faster with his TP, and later on Jace also took his teleport. And the analysts also thought that this is gonna be a winning fight on the side of Sandbox Gaming, but Aphelios is Aphelios and he is 200 years ahead. With this fight, Wukong became far ahead of Jace. And it was hard for Summit to reach out that kind of deficiency. SeolHaeOne and Prince, they were not looking for an even trade. They were trying to min-max all the points that could get with that fight. And we did manage to see the Aphelios ending after that Dragon Soul fight. SeolHaeOne and Prince, they had a very losing position. It was a 5 versus 3 fight, and they were zoned away by the Sandbox player. Lee Sin got picked up and no one could see it coming. Aphelios picking up so many kills to turn the tide around. Syndra also expected Aphelios to go down, so he walked forward to use his ult onto LeBlanc, but Aphelios was able to also take him with him together to the grave. That was a hyper carry coming out from Aphelios, and Iksu did enjoy the bus ride. Then let's check out who the player of the game would be for game number 2. Aphelios or Hybrid? It's actually interesting to see that Hybrid only got 100 POG here, but Hybrid performing well is a signal that SeolHaeOne and Prince will also revive. So maybe this can be a huge turnaround of their momentum of this split run. I hope they can boost their confidence with this victory up against Sandbox. This massive AoE is actually absurd that this champion is a complete joke, to be honest. Hybrid picked up 10 votes out of 12, and it is time to check out whether SeolHaeOne and Prince can stop their long losing streak or whether Sandbox can continue their winning streak.
Thank you, G-Sun, for the translation, and you heard it here first, guys. That champion is a complete joke, as we have some angry members on the analyst desk, it seems, about that Aphelios, and, well, Hybrid seems pretty happy about it. He was able to keep his team's hopes alive in the series, and, I mean, honestly, after the early game, I was like, well, seems like this is going to be a 2-0.
I thought it was definitely going to be over.
I mean, remember Mickey behind 0-3? Like,
Mickey was
crazy.
Honestly, it looked like they were. I'm not sure what was going on, but it's time to find out if SeolHaeOne Prince and Mickey's Magic Mountain can actually come out here in game number 3 and see if they can actually carry it. And, you know, interestingly enough, last game is the kind of game that makes me like Aphelios in pro play. I talked about this in the T1 Dynamic series as well, that there's the minigame where Aphelios, as a conditional hyper carry, can sometimes turn the game around, and I think it's a very underappreciated entertainment aspect that a lot of viewers can enjoy, but also the balancing act that a team has as an insurance policy. I don't know. I don't like all the Aphelios flame right now, Valdez.
Yeah. I mean, you were telling me in the break that Jinx could have done the same thing, even better than what Aphelios did, which I find hard to believe. But again, we don't see much Jinx nowadays, so, you know, we don't have very many examples to go off of and compare and contrast.
I think that there's a few champions that could do stuff like in that spot. I think Xayah, if she had enough feathers out, would be able to make a similar play. I think Twitch, with his ult active, perhaps.
Hey, look who it is.
Look who it is!
Speak of the devil. Mr. Y.
Mr. Y. Did you see Reddit recently in the last couple of days?
No.
All right.
No, I have not.
Riot has designed a champion that apparently might have more years than Aphelios.
Yeah.
Is it Yone or is it Yone?
I thought it was Yon.
It's not Yon. No, it's not Yon.
I don't know.
I don't know how it's
I
pronounced,
don't really
actually.
know.
I think it's Yone.
You would probably say Yone, so I mean, we can assume that's incorrect.
If he comes out and he's just not busted at all and everyone hates him, I'm just going to call him Yawn on the broadcast.
Yawn?
Yawn. Yeah, like... Oh, man.
They're going to play Set here. He was available in Game 2 and Game 1, actually. Neither team wanted to play him, but now they're going to play him. They're going to say we don't, you know, we think that Syndra is actually better than LeBlanc. Mickey does not want to play the same matchup again. Oh,
whoa.
Never mind. Okay.
Pantheon being locked in.
Back.
Now, we don't know if this is support Pantheon, jungle Pantheon, top Pantheon, or mid Pantheon.
Or AD Pantheon.
Well, it could be AD Pantheon, but only if
Aphelios top.
Yeah, Aphelios top is it is a thing. Some people have played in solo queue, but obviously it's never made its way to competitive. As Tom Kench is going to be picked up, and that surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultra safe.
Yeah.
Ashe, Tom Kench, I mean.
The thing now is, though, is that Sandbox, if Set is top or jungle or mid, or if Pantheon is top jungle or mid, Aphelios can get a very good matchup down in bottom. I mean, Braum is, or not Braum, Bard.
Brad. Yeah.
God, yeah, Brad and Mr. Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best friends forever.
Yeah. And SeolHaeOne Prince now, they're going to ban away the Syndra. And so this will be interesting. That might actually mean that Pantheon could be in mid lane. Set, obviously not a very big fan of Syndra either, but if he gets ahead of her, it can be nice. That's obviously very hard to achieve. It's not very practical. The Nidalee being banned does surprise me, but what they're thinking is that there's so much AD. Ooh, I wonder if Karthus... No, not Elise. What? Well, they're banning Elise because bread and butter combo with Elise Pantheon is very awkward to play against. Now, another combo that could come in the jungle is Taliyah. This is why banning away the magic damage junglers right now doesn't really serve a purpose, because it's wide open. You have Taliyah, you have Nidalee, you have Elise, you have Karthus. You can sort of like pick your poison. There's Evelynn even could come in. There's just way too many. And so you should actually implore them to pick the most sinful ones and then play around it correctly. And that way you can get the biggest upside in mid-late game if you do it right. Fate does not seem to know what he wants to play into Pantheon. Can't really pick. And, ooh. Zoe is good. Now, do you remember the massacre that Chovy did to the mid-Pantheons?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were not. That was not clean.
Yeah.
That was unholy.
Zoe can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Around melee champions.
The interesting thing was the LeBlanc ban, actually. If Mickey was going to go Pantheon in mid, it is...
The prophecy!
Yeah, everyone's face right now is exactly like Bard's. And by the way, if you turn your head left or right, Bard's face remains the same.
Yeah, it's true.
It is actually.
You made me do this last time, but it's still true.
Everyone's turning their head right now, and they're like, "Wow, it really works." How many years do you need?
It's such an obnoxious lane, especially against Tahm Kench. And it looks like this should be Pantheon jungle, I would imagine, with the Galio coming in here.
Yeah, so with Galio, it could, well, yeah, I'm very doubtful that this is like Galio top. Oh,
look
baby.
who it is, R5 Renekton.
R5 Renekton.
He's making a name for himself
Here
recently.
Here we go.
Best counter pick in the LCK. I feel like all these LCK teams were like, remember Renekton? Remember when we used to play that every game and it was really good? You know, thinking back nostalgically. And then they're like, well, it never gets banned anymore. Let's just play it now.
Yeah, so the one upside right now in this game is that Sandbox, they do have massive amounts of pick in the mid and late game with Ashe and Zoe. And then because of Renekton, Ashe and Lee Sin, you're incentivizing Ninja Tab Eyes on pretty much everyone, that no one's going to have any Merc Treads to really sustain through this. On the flip side, Brad the Chad and Galio, obviously an enormous amount of CC as well. And so we'll see what ends up happening inside of this game. This is definitely very concerning. There's going to be a lot of action in this game with these team compositions. The most worrying thing is going to be Hybrid on the Aphelios versus Fate on the Zoe, because that's what the game's going to eventually, potentially come down to.
Eventually and potentially.
Yeah,
we're almost,
realized what I said. I wish I had more years to formulate it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Going to happen. No, Mr. Years has all the
Certainly.
years. Unfortunately.
Certainly T.
Yeah. And,
guy's a god.
He's pretty good at what he does.
He is.
Creates very fun champions.
He does.
We got a couple in this game. As we are ready to hop onto the Rift for the final game of the night. SeolHaeOne Prince up against Sandbox. Who will take the throne of this series? That's a nice horse.
Yeah, honestly, it really is.
It reminds me of Epona, even though it's not the right, not the right color. I don't know,
Can you
like the
imagine
clopping
if
sounds.
They had a chroma for this Ashe skin, and it looked like, is it Death Charger? What is it called? The Death Knight.
I think it is Death Charger.
Dreadsteed? Dreadsteed.
Dreadsteed is Warlock.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
And we don't have Ornn in this game, so no Warlocks here.
We do not have Ornn, so.
No Warlocks in this game.
Ooh, that's an interesting thing. Is there a Warlock champion in LoL?
Does Swain count? He's kind of like, draining life and...
Yeah, but he... Oh, yeah, he does have a Metamorphosis. Yeah, I guess he would. Yeah, okay, Swain's a Warlock. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Karthus would be a Warlock.
Really? Yeah, well...
Yeah. Dark magic, of course.
I see. Yeah, I don't have the definition of Warlock right in front of me right now, so... but I suppose that works. And yeah, this is going to be Zoe up against Galio. This was the last pick that SeolHaeOne Prince did pick in the draft.
Oh, this is very surprising. Pantheon's going to get Conqueror first.
Okay.
Ooh. Summit actually, I
got
lost
zoned out. I think he got zoned out of some of that XP.
Yeah, he definitely did. Summit is in a really rough spot right now. I apologize. I was lost sight. I did not see that was press the attack. I just saw yellow. My eyesight's actually that bad. It really feels terrible sometimes.
Yeah, feels bad now.
It definitely does. And Ixu. He's going to get level 2. Ooh, Summit's going to be really careful. What?
He stepped in range.
What is... Hello?
Maybe he was just desperate to
he's
get
tilted.
some XP. I mean,
now, Ixu is not canceling the recall with a spear, which he should have done. And so now Set moving up to top lane. They know that this is the only time Ixu could die to a Lee Sin gank. This would be the only one that could ruin the lane, and you can see Ixu wants to try to speed up the push. Now, there's so many spellcaster minions here that if Summit tries to auto-attack either of the champions, things are just going to be... he can't play the game. R5 for Renekton.
Look at this counter pick potential.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, he does get the XP on the cannon.
Yeah, he does.
But Zoe is going on a bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer over here.
Everybody's just losing priority. I mean, Lee Sin, he can't farm the bottom side of his jungle.
Gotta be real careful.
Okay. Yeah, there is a ward here in the brush, but it is a red ward. Lee Sin is going to spot the Set. We got a bit of a duel here in the jungle.
Sandbox is going to win this.
Wow, look at Summit just winning the 1v1. All of a sudden, Flawless, it almost looked like he was sacrificing himself, but the Q comes in. Godfling is going to take it, and they're going to get the double kill. Mickey coming in, trying to get that combo, but I think he got stunned at the same time. Not able to make it happen, and that is 2 kills for Sandbox.
And Sandbox just blow everything. What is going on, man?
The stun. And yeah, Summit's going to get away too. That's Flash Blown here for Ixu as he desperately tries to make that happen. Galio spends about 200 years up in the top lane. He's going to miss a lot of that XP, and Flawless is going to have to get it in the mid lane. R5 Renekton, best counter pick.
No doubt. I mean, you're seeing why here.
Yeah, you saw that play, right? Wow. Amazing.
This is a mess and a half. The amount of coin flip, that was do or die for Sandbox. If this fails, Summit's out of the game, On Fleek's out of the game. Let's just take a look at this. I mean, the wave is coming into Ixu. He made a mistake about 15 seconds prior to this clip because the wave would just be coming in, and then he retains his advantage with teleport, and Summit's already committed to the lane. So Flawless comes up, brawls with Lee Sin for no reason, and they both die. And Mickey, he tries to come in.
Stunned.
Yeah, gets stunned during the taunt, so he can't chain together the Justice Punch. And the Q.
Watch this.
Yeah, this was really strange as well. So if Mickey just trusted in Ixu actually could have came here and chained together some things. So very surprising.
Yeah, he was busy.
Now, Pantheon's still ahead of Renekton, by the way. He is still ahead, so.
Yeah, 10 CS, by the way.
R5 Renekton. Still coming in. Now, On
He's got to scale.
Yeah, On
give him some time.
Takes a lot of EXP away from Fate, who is already level 6. Mickey is stuck on level 5.
Brad just, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
What, tongue lash?
What a pretty recall. Oh, and Summit is going to hold the freeze.
What? No? No, he's not.
Why?
Good question. I don't have an answer for you.
He is so far behind.
Ixu was thinking about going mid, but, I mean...
Yeah, I think he was thinking about going mid because Renekton had a freeze.
Yeah, he like moves up top. He's like, oh, that's good. Thanks.
Even Pantheon was aware that he can't actually. He's gonna get these minions now that he should never be able to get.
Yeah.
Ixu would have needed his jungler to come top lane because if Lee Sin just goes red into top, Ixu can die. He's flashless. Summit would get Dominus on one of the next waves that would end up coming in. Things could be really scary. So.
Yeah, that was one of the more obvious moments where I think a lot of people can actually relate and say, yeah, I mean, should have froze. It's not even like there's a Rift Herald up or like he's got to go for like a teleport gank. No, there's none of that. There's nothing. And he goes for a back. Yeah, he's going to get a back because
No, he does have the leg up, though. He has the Ruby Crystal over the Pantheon. So then you factor in, I guess, refillable potion versus corrupting potion. So there's a little bit of damage that's coming in there, but it's virtually negligible. So Summit does have the better on-field battle stats at this point in time. Bottom lane, we haven't been talking about it a whole lot. Ionian Boots was picked up by Bard as his first item. The BF Sword is present there as well. On Fleek, looking, he's taking a lot of damage from that dragon. Oh,
yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Okay.
Oh, that was dirty by Brad, yeah.
He's just chatting it up, you know.
He really is.
Showing him who's boss. It's just, you know, it's just Brad things.
What the camera doesn't actually show us is that while he went into the jungle, he hung out with the chillest dudes before hitting the Scryer, yeah. So
yeah.
You gotta understand.
Fate, very skilled here, is going to pick up the Redemption. And that is going to help his push and his domination in the lane. And this is a trade you'll see very often. One team gets the Drake, the other team gets the Rift Herald. This is a way for Sandbox to try to come back in the game. You can see that Summit and Fate are trying to make something of it and turn it around, but Summit is very far ahead of his allies, so he's just going to back away.
And Mickey does end up getting ignited. And so SeolHaeOne Prince, they had the game in their hands, and they threw it away. They're now down 1,000 gold and the Infernal Dragon. Things are going very good right now for Sandbox. Obviously, top lane is still behind, but it doesn't really matter. Mid and bottom are comfortably ahead. Fate also very far ahead in the XP department. He doesn't have teleport, so he's trying really hard to shove in this wave.
Yeah, he's going to back safely. Oh, he actually... What's he doing there? He's actually going to wait. He's going to push the next wave. Okay. So he started backing and then
he's
maybe...
He's going to call in Lee Sin, because he doesn't have the mana to do it on his own. So he needs to pull on Fleek and...
No, he does.
Yeah, but he missed his minions because he doesn't have the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
it wasn't clean.
It wasn't the cleanest push, for sure.
And he feels pressured to
Summit.
get in, get
He's
out.
got on Fleek here, but here's Flawless, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a scary guy. Don't necessarily want to fight up against the set, but Ixu did take a lot of damage at the same time. I think Mickey might have seen Fate going up there, but either way, he's just going to go for a back now. Mickey also with no TP. And yeah, really no mana now for Fate, who is having trouble pushing that lane. And here's Flawless with the TP coming in. There's kind of make it happen.
No gank on Zoe ever because she has Cleanse, she has Flash. And so from that angle, I mean, there's no way. Because what would happen is Flawless flashes, tries to go for Superplex. Zoe then can flash into getting Flash back, and pretty standard. Or Zoe just respawn flashes and then set drags her into her mid-tier 2 turret, but...
Ixu thinking about a play. We don't have any dragons up here, but they do have the Rift Herald. So maybe if they can get a pick into a push, that would be a nice little gold swing for the side of SeolHaeOne Prince. And you can see that Summit is also coming down. And I believe that lane is going to push back towards Summit. But he's going to get up there after seeing he's not on. Fate is going to get stunned up here. And Ixu's like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, don't have enough damage to do anything. Zoe is still too healthy. And Mickey is getting clapped around a little bit, and a lot of this is the byproduct of that initial teleport that allowed Fate to just get very ahead. So a lot of lane control going in his favor. Ignite picked up on Mickey right now. Ixu makes his way back up into top lane. And Fate picks up a Super Soaker, gonna get himself another turret plate, and that's also a cannon that goes into nothingness. And so, right now in this game, 2,000 gold lead for Sandbox. Hybrid is not getting as ahead as he would have liked.
Yeah, we didn't talk much about the bottom lane, but the super safe, kind of pokey Ashe Tahm Kench with no effect from many junglers. I mean, Ixu tried to make his way down there, but if Ashe can just kind of, you know, sit there and be safe, not have to use Summoner, she's going to have a good time. Got a bit of an invade now coming in from SP.
Yeah.
Doesn't amount to too much. Just going to push on Fleek out after he cleared most of his jungle. Flawless going to be forced to place this down. I think that was pretty much on timer.
Yeah. And so there is turret plates. We'll see if Mickey can actually get any of the... Yeah, it does look like he picks up some for himself.
I think Flawless got...
Yeah, Flawless got as
both.
the jungler. Oh, did he get...
Yeah, he got 320.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not close enough. Almost has Proto Belt. Mickey just trying to CS and crash in this wave.
Yeah, Galio's got some good pushing of his own. There hasn't been too much going on for the last couple of minutes. The Ocean Drake is now live. Could have another fun Cloud Drake soul to come in here.
Yeah. We'll see if that does end up popping up. Obviously, both of these teams want a Spicy Dragon. Mountain as third spawn would be very good. That would be a game-ending Drake, almost by itself. Flawless gonna come in here, sweeping lens, not gonna find anything. And Mickey just continuing to get tagged and pounded here in mid lane a little bit.
Cloud Soul. It's gonna be the name of the game. And that does mean we can have some pretty frequent Ashe arrows in this one. Secret, awkward spot. He's going to go for the play here on the little cubby that you can do with Bard. That change actually is very nice for Brad. Some trades here, but now Flawless. Pretty awkward spot. He's going to trade a little bit back. In goes on Fleek, who is going to be pounced into the wall. As Flawless will survive. That's a nice Cosmic Binding, but where is the follow-up? We got Exhaust now on a Mickey. It's like, oh yeah, Root's down here.
Oh.
And oh, Secret nearly dies. Fate would just love some mana in this game. This game, he's been very
Picks up a Flash. And you can see Hybrid, he has Gravitum. Currently enabled. Mickey is alrighty.
Gorilla might sacrifice himself for this one, but he got a stopwatch too. Look at the health bars down here, but nobody's actually gonna die.
A lot of juggling, and I mean this whole time, both Summit and Ixu, they have teleport available, but neither can really do it because they can cancel each other. So Summit now gonna crash in the wave. He's all but recovered. Pretty much up here in top lane. Let's take a look one more time. Facebreaker comes in on Fleek. Zoe Trouble Bubble gets hit, and a lot of HP in that Haymaker, but ends up dissipating before the Paddle Star arrives. Secret goes in, gets the Cosmic Binding onto 2. Mickey holding his taunt a little bit too long, only ends up getting Gorilla. They can't seem to make up their mind. Fate comes back in, Proto Belt tags Mickey with the very end of it, picks up a Flash as well. Doesn't end up using it to try to go on to Hybrid, and then shortly thereafter, Ashe tries to make a play. Another one.
Here we go, Pantheon comes in. That is a really long-range Devour. They're all gonna dodge this one, but Gorilla might be in some trouble. He is eventually gonna go down. Here's the arrow as Summit is gonna try to go in the front line, and finally Ixu's going to bite the dust. It's gonna be 2 kills. In the trade for just the Tahm Kench. I swear Gorilla is the best sacrifice right now for this team. He has done so much tanking and some really nice Devours so far.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, in this game, Sandbox, they're riding SeolHaeOne Prince by 3,000 gold. They're about to pick up a Rift Herald for themselves. Take a look at how this all transpired one time. Really nice brush check by OnFleek. Taunt comes out, and Gorilla able to get the Devour off onto OnFleek. Pantheon goes to sleep, but not while simultaneously sending out a million spears. Reminding me of Mewtwo King, that video that exists, where he's like moving the GameCube controller while asleep. And then everyone else getting clapped. Okay, you know what? I get it. You've never watched Hash Bros documentary.
It's okay.
It's fine.
OnFleek here, he's not very okay. That was a nice little dash, and he's going to be able to make it over the wall. OnFleek performing magic. And amongst all this, he was able to pick up the Rift Herald after they got those 2 picks. And so, just like that, we do have this mid-tier 1 that is going to go down. Fake going to pick up a bunch of the gold. And he is really fed right now. I mean, this Zoe is pretty massive. 2 kills. Nearly the most farm in the game, just behind his AD carry.
Cosmic Binding comes out. And you can see the reach on this Battlestar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
200 light years is what that one was. Phelios didn't quite, you know.
Wow. I don't even... I mean, that was crazy, but maybe this is even crazier. OnFleek with the 200 IQ, let's say. Fakes it over the wall, uses blue buff. Has his little rope vine to make it on over.
And this game is definitely looking pretty doom and gloom right now for SeolHaeOne Prince. 3rd dragon of the game, Cloud Drake, about to spawn in 20 seconds. And Sandbox are in a very commanding position to get it. They should just be able to pick it up very quickly. OnFleek not. Oh, he is. He's going to go in. He's going to get the red. And you can see SeolHaeOne Prince, they're trying to sin right now.
Gorilla.
Yeah, Secret not.
He's in trouble, but here comes the arrow to no real follow-up damage. Flawless is in an awkward spot. He's just going to get burst down, and now Mickey's going to go in and die.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, not really sure how that one managed itself. And now we are on Cloud Drake Soul Point for Sandbox, so just the 1 kill. They got 3-0-1 Zoe, 3-0-1 Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at what's happening. They're anticipating to try to get a pick off or something. The Blasting Cone gets taken, Secret not a part of it, uses his Magical Journey, and that means that he's not able to create one right where he is right now. Otherwise, Galio and friends would have been able to run to it. So the Blast Cone error, not taking Brad over with them, ends up actually resulting in 2 of their deaths.
They were also spotted.
Yeah, it's...
They saw set.
Honestly, it's a bit of a tragedy, I'll be honest with you, Valdez. So this game is just waiting for the inevitable team fight because there's...
Both Flawless and Mickey are like, yeah, you know, actually, I don't want to CS this. Let's feed it to Hybrid because he's our only hope.
Yeah.
And he is. Hybrid was able to do it 1v5 in game number 2. And he was able to do it up against Syndra, up against very annoying ranged champions, similar to Zoe.
Yep.
So if he can do it once, there is a chance. And I don't blame them for putting all their eggs in that Hybrid basket.
And we'll see what is going to be able to happen here. Has the Gravitum enabled right now, but really all that Sandbox have to do, they just have to take it very slow. Wait for the Soul Point fight, and then they can take that team fight. Pantheon is going to have trouble getting CS at this point in the game, so he's going to be stuck on his Phage as he's trying to make his way into the Black Cleaver.
Looking for a play here in mid. Well, thought maybe they would. We do have Ixu splitting down in bottom side. He does have that global. Well, this Galio is dead. I mean...
Yeah.
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 He's just going straight Rabadon's death cap. It's like, you know what? I only need 2 items. Wow. Luden's going to stop the back here. Hybrid had to cleanse. Meanwhile, Man, nothing is really looking up here for SeolHaeOne Prince. They're just desperately trying to eat waves that are running into them and feed them all over to Hybrid.
And I mean, at this point, it's 2 minutes until Cloud. Zoe has the death cap completed. Everyone's getting one shot. So as soon as she lands the
누구
bubble,
맞았어요. 누구 맞았어.
I hit him.
여기 PM까지 지우고 싶긴 하다 나는. 야, 나 갈려 잡을게 이거.
I'm gonna get Galio.
빠이. 미드 나오는 거.
and it's very easy. Pick up there. And we're just waiting, basically, for Cloud Dragon to come online. Everything is outside of Aphelios doing his 200 years. There's no real way for SeolHaeOne Prince to win this. And given that they have the option to just allow Ashe and Zoe to sort of keep him at bay and rely on the volley of arrows.
Oh?
Okay, I mean, this is it.
Okay.
Oh, kick
Nice.
away, so
Oh,
not
nice
today.
kick. That was a really good kick. Finally, Lee Sin coming in handy.
True.
He made it. Not as good as R5 Renekton, though. Let's not forget.
Let's not forget that one, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
He is.
Another win under his belt.
He actually did get the win. There's good, people unironically say it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Well,
See, he was able to kill that turret, too. And they're setting up some position here to go ahead back, pick up some items before they do go over to the Cloud Drake. Lots of pings around that one, though, for both teams.
and 30 seconds until Cloud. And you can just see the Galio is pretty much stuck. He actually needs the Zanyas to re-get his stopwatch, but he's not getting a very big surge in power. He's just gaining the utility back of the active. I mean, Pantheon's still stuck on the Black Cleaver. He's not going to be able to have it for this fight. He's only going to have Phage and Kindle Gems, so he's extremely weak. It's almost as if SeolHaeOne Prince doesn't even have champions right now, is pretty much what it is, because they could group up. I think Aphelios is even too weak to win in a straight-on collision team fight at this point in the game, even though it's the only out. Another bubble lands, Mickey goes to sleep. Some might say that he's
Oh, boy.
affected by Zoe
Ixu,
bubble
I
this whole
think he's
game.
just dead here. Gonna get stunned up, and meanwhile, in the jungle, Flawless. That was a really nice play, actually, by the Bard. Let's see if Hybrid can do it. He's desperately trying to get those autos down, but immediately he's gonna get deleted by Zoe. And, well, they had the chance. They had the one chance to try to take this one back, but it does look like Sandbox have it in the bag. If they're not going to win that team fight, I don't think they're going to win anyone.
Yeah, and I think that it could just be the game.
They're not going to go for the game-ending push.
They're going to go for the Baron. Now, normally, I am a pretty big criticizer of the Baron over Soul, but it looks like they're allocating Renekton to the Soul. But regardless, it is Cloud. And so Cloud Soul in and of itself is not a game-ending dragon. So we take a look at how this all transpires. Superplex ends up coming out. 3-man taunt doesn't get it before the Devour, and so Root was able to go into the belly of Tom Kench, be protected by all that thick skin. And like I was just saying 30 seconds ago, 45 seconds ago, they don't have the damage, even in a straight-on collision fight.
Yeah.
They can't really win. They're behind so much. They're behind in levels, so much in gold.
I mean, that was their only hope, right? I mean, that was about all they had in them. Temper Fate was really fantastic. The follow-up was not. And Summit's got a huge smile on his face right now. He's having a lot of fun in this game. The two of them are just backing on a ward. Does kind of look like SeolHaeOne are defeated in this game. Cloud Soul will be Sandboxes. So they take this one down.
And that will be Cloud Soul along with the Baron. We're just waiting for the inevitable push-in here by Zoe with her bubbles to clear the way for everyone. I mean, an Ashe Arrow can work just the same.
Fate he's just, he's kind of just boosting his damage numbers right now. It's like they're not ending the game just yet, but he's just chunking champion after champion. Nice try on the angle there. Gonna try to make this work. They're easily gonna be able to take 2 inhibitors, I would imagine. Okay. Hybrid nearly dies. He's got a little bit of life steal. But they're not gonna stop the bottom inhibitor from going down. They're down 13,000 gold. Sandbox are trying to stroll along to their win here in this mid-game. There's always just 2 out of control. I mean, there's not really much that SeolHaeOne can do.
We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, well, they're going to jump into the back line. They try to get that engage. I think that's the first time I've seen Galio ults, actually, in this game. But,
they used it at bottom, below
okay.
the golem.
Yeah, true. Okay, so second time. It's not going to amount to much. Will they kill Fate? The answer is absolutely not. 17-1 is the kill score right now. Hybrid says, well, I've got full health, full mana. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah.
Let me just go into the fountain and try not to die.
All right, let's see what all the hype's about, Valdez.
Yeah, he's got the elixir.
Here we go.
Yeah,
he doesn't look so broken.
He's not very strong.
He's actually like AlphaGo. He knows that it's a losing fight, so he just doesn't come out of the fountain. Aphelios isn't even human. Like, he's actually deep mind in champion form.
Well, that's it for that game, for that series. Fate put on a nice performance, 4-0 by like 12 minutes. And Gorilla also had a really great game early on. Amongst all the shenanigans, he was kind of the calming effect. The older brother, the Thomas Kench, who's always got your back. As it's all smiles and hugs and happiness over here for Sandbox as they're going to end their round 1 at 4-5. Yep. It's a very big turning point, you know, with Fate coming into the lineup, Yamato coming over. Spirits are way up. Even if, you know, you look at the schedule and you say, well, you know, they won against, you know, weaker teams, it still does look like things are on the up and up, at least for the side of Sandbox. So we'll see if they can push that into round 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what does happen in round 2, because it has been quite a turnaround here for them. Thus far, they're going to end up running the gauntlet, though, one more time. We'll see what ends up happening then. There's Fantasy on stage, one of the best esports players of all time.
Yeah.
And Hybrid is looking very dysphoric right now on stage. As the opposite is true for Sandbox, as their emotions do run high. Obviously,
for it.
Yeah, I could say that.
You could say that.
But
anyway, continue.
Sandbox almost lost the game at level 5. If Pantheon and Set don't take the trade that they do, this whole game is different, because Galio fell so far behind off of that. Pantheon was light years ahead of the Renekton because of that blundered trade that took place in the Tribrush, and Lee Sin was really flipping a coin, and Set ended up whiffing, and then
sometimes
SeolHaeOne Prince counter through. Yeah, so very, very, very scary early game, and but once they got the advantage, they never really let go of it. It was really nice teamwork down in the bot lane, juggling the turret aggro and making those plays happen. So that was very neck and neck. And Sandbox emerged victorious today. Yeah.
I feel like Game 3 is the one game where Sandbox looks like they were the better team. Game 1, too, but there were some shaky moments. Game 3 was pretty, you know, early game, as you mentioned, was a little bit all over the place. But after these shenanigans, it was pretty one-sided.
And I mean, this was it. And this is a byproduct of Ixu, a couple of seconds before the replay starts, really botching his lane manipulation. He was so far ahead of Renekton. It has nothing to do with mechanics, nothing to do with the player. It's just a knowledge-based decision. It was a really good stun there by Summit so that Galio couldn't follow up on the taunt. And likewise, he did it again to the Pantheon just south of the top tier 1 turret when Ixu came in off the TP. This was also another big turning point. Gorilla, he ends up being the sacrifice, but not before buying more than enough time and absorbing more than enough damage for Sandbox to turn stuff around. Fate This was it, 200 light years. And, you know, Hybrid did not really expect it. Some Tattle Stars, they were on point this game. This was the blunder. Now, if Bard, I wish I had Epic Pen, just took the Blasting Cone with them, he could have magical journeyed right where the other teammates were. They could have ended up getting out through the bottom, but that ended up being and resulting into kills. Galio here ends up getting put to sleep. No point in activating Ghost. He would have had to just dodge the bubble in order to live there. Was not able to do so.
Yeah, and this is the one moment where you're like, maybe? 3-man Devour potential, but a little bit too late on the taunt, and Hybrid in a really awkward spot. Not of any fault of his own. I mean, he just was trying to get in there and do damage, but they were too far behind at that point, and Fate straightened him up on the Zoe. Showed him what's what. As Zoe is the new 200 years, he says.
She was the original.
Yes, the original.
She has the new to affiliate with Mewtwo. Mewtwo has 2 in his name.
앞에 풀스톱 막아줄 생각하든가.
나 먹는 거 5초. 세트.
나 바텀 가면 끝난다. 알아서 끝내줘. 나 상태가 너무 안 좋아요.
나 살게. 오, 왜 이렇게 세?
바텀으로
제발.
나 우리 팀 믿는다.
나 피업 좀.
아 이거 하면 탑다이버 해봐다.
바스 좋다.
바스
이거
좋다.
라인 너무 적은데 미드 밀어야 되는 거 아니야?
아, 끝내면 하지 않아?
바텀이야.
I mean,
나 앞에
Gorilla
막을게.
played well, though.
좀 대봐.
I don't think he rode the bus today.
야, 얘 KD 지키네.
나 전판 앞에 때문에 너무 쫄았다.
나쁜 놈인가?
방금도 밑에 들이 왔어.
아, 괜찮아. LC는 칼리보다 세다.
고생 많았다. 이기긴 했네.
아, 다행이다.
We're like, well, at least we won. That's a damage graph. Take a picture of that one.
It's like a middle finger.
Yeah, it kind of is,
Actually.
actually.
Oh, man.
It is. You think about it. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's definitely something. So
30,000 damage.
yes,
Was it more than the entire enemy team? Got 15
No.
and 13. I think it was.
was it?
It was very close. It was
Yeah.
like a difference of like 1,000.
NA math over here.
I was close. That's all that NA's going to do, just get close. But either way, guys, we do have Fate picking up the player of the game. Over 1,000 damage a minute. And yeah, I mean, Gorilla had a good game, but it's hard not to give this guy the player of the game. Pretty obvious, I think, on this one. Fate had a good laning phase from Mickey leaving very early and just able to dominate from there.
Galio just got brought down very easily. Once he fell behind, Devour used by Tom right there, but Bard Ultimate wouldn't do anything. Pantheon Ultimate in, Galio in, but you just don't have items. Everyone experiences this in solo queue sometimes. It feels terrible.
Yeah.
It's like you get a dream engage and it's like, actually, you're under-leveled,
Yeah.
don't have items. The Flash Haymaker miss, that was impressive.
Because the angle, he flashed back and then it was like, yeah, missed. And that was all it was. That's all she wrote, yeah. So we are going to hear from Fate. And it was 11 out of 12 on the vote. So I assume there was one person voting for Gorilla.
Who?
I don't know. Okay, we know it was a specific person from the media team. We're not going to mention who. Anyway, guys, we're going to hand it over to T-Sun for the translation.
Congratulations, and Sandbox is rolling the win streak. And this is your first 4-match winning streak here in the LCK. How do you feel? We are having a rough time in the beginning of the split, but I'm really glad that we are able to maintain this winning streak. Yeah, I mean, losing streak is really hard, but what about winning streak? I mean, to be honest, we've been to the promotion series and we were going through a long losing streak in the beginning. But I feel really flustered to be on a winning streak, but I mean, it also feels definitely so good. Let's go back to game number 1. It was Syndra versus LeBlanc. And you looked really confident in that matchup. It feels like you had the confidence to outlane the opponent. What's your thought on the Syndra versus LeBlanc matchup on the mid lane?
이 구도를 되게 많이 연습하고
I
그러진 않았는데
literally practiced
보통
this
르블랑
matchup
리신
a
조합은
lot,
좀 무섭다
but
생각이
LeBlanc
되긴
and Lee Sin
하는데
comp is really
그레이브즈가
scary.
그 갱킹이 되게
But in game
취약한
number one,
챔피언이어가지고
Graves
첫 번째 판
was a
같은
jungle
경우는
pick.
제가 조금
So-
더 편하게 한
So
것
I had
같고
more space
그냥
to
서로 하기
play
나름인
as I
구도인 것
wished.
같아요.
So it actually all depends on the pilot.
손싸움이다.
솔직히 말씀하신 내용들에 대해서 좀 더 구체적으로 말씀드리면
To be more
너프를
specific,
당했잖아요.
Syndra
큐가
had some nerf
너프가 좀 당하면서
with
만화
her
소모를
Q
하는데
skill,
나중에 좀
so
증가하는
it
장면이
consumes
있었거든요.
more mana in the
그거 플러스
lower
르블랑
level.
상대할 땐 분명히 굉장히 더 불편하다고
In addition to
애널리스트
that,
석에 있는
a lot of
선수가
people, especially
그런
Pawn,
얘기를
the
했었거든요,
analysts
사실.
mentioned
그런
that
너프에 대한 불편함이나
Syndra
이런
is not a
걸
comfort pick into
아무래도
LeBlanc.
신드라가
How do you
초반에 좀
think about that?
강하게 압박하는 게 좀 장점이었는데
Syndra's strength is about the early priority, but after the nerf, it's really hard to
그래도
pull
좀
off.
딜적인 너프나 그런 게
However,
되지
at the
않아서
same time, her
충분히
damage
시간 흐를수록
was
좋은
not
챔피라고
nerfed.
생각해서
So as
저는 많이
the
쓰고
time
있는
goes
것
by,
같아요.
she is still really strong and
두
viable.
번째 세트에서 어떻게 보면 역대급 아펠리오스
Game number 2, we had the most epic 200-year moment from Aphelios. What was the feedback after that game like?
저희 좀 그냥 일단 저희가 패배하긴 했는데
We did
저희
lose that
감독님
game,
좀
but
마인드가
Our
이미
head
지난
coach
거고
Yamato,
저희 순간에서는
he
항상
has
좀
this mindset
단판이라는 마음가짐을
that,
좀
well,
임해주길
past is
바라셔서
only a past, and when we're going to a decider match, it's a BO best of one series, so he doesn't really want the players to struggle with the things that happened in the game that we lost.
그냥 시작 경기를 아예 시작하기 전에는 좀 비스무리한 얘기를 해주셨던 것 같아요.
그것 좀 알려주세요.
Was there any speech coming out from Yamato before the game as well?
상어가 항상 이제 계속 전진을
You know,
하는데
Sharks always go forward.
저희는 이제 상어랑 다른 점이 상어는
But the difference
개인
between
활동을 하고
us and sharks
저희는 좀
is that
팀적인
sharks,
활동을
they
할수
only
있으니까
go
그런
individually,
것처럼
but
이제 계속 다 함께
we,
전진하자
Sandbox players,
이런
can
얘기
play as a team.
상어
So he
명언이
also
나왔군요.
emphasized on the
진짜
teamwork
명언이 나왔었는데.
over here.
그때 이런 게 많이 나오는데 상황은 처음이네요.
First time hearing a speech about sharks, to be honest.
상어 얘기 나온 김에
Well, speaking of
근데
sharks,
악어는 좀 힘들었어요.
but Crocodile was having a hard time, and he was in a very rough position.
처음에 막 죽는 소리 안 하니까요.
Renekton was struggling a lot in game number
많이 본
3.
건 아닌데 가끔 이제
I
솔로
didn't
랭크에서
really
봤을 때 판테온
Saw that matchup a lot,
랭크
but
상대 좀 강하게
at the solo
하는
queue
모습을 좀 많이
sometimes
본것
Pantheon
같아서
has a
좀
lead
저렇게
in
되고
the early
상대
phase
조합
up against
좀
Renekton.
컨셉상 좀 초반에
And based on their
바이브 쪽으로 많이 밀릴
concept
것 같아서
of their comp,
뭔가 저 형이
we did
불편해하는 상황들에
expect
좀 많이
them
개의치
to go
않고
for a lot of
어떻게 해야 좀 잘
turret
도와줄 수
dive,
있을까 이런
so we
얘기를
weren't
많이 했던 것
too
같아요.
concerned about Summit having a hard time.
뭐 그냥
What
앓는
did
것
Summit
같긴
say?
했는데 되게 좀 티
I
안 나게
guess
앓는
he
것
was
같았어요.
struggling a lot,
시름시름
but
앓는
that
건
wasn't
느끼고
really
네.
a huge impact on us.
하여튼 그럼 어땠어요? 사실 조합에 대한 내용들도 많이 있었잖아요. 3경기 조합에 대해서.
In game 3,
판테온
the
세트
composition
갈리오
was
앞에
really
다
unorthodox.
저희가 뭐
Pantheon,
나중에는
Galio, Aphelios.
않겠다라는 뉘앙스 좀 말을 했었는데
It was more like a four support mode for one Aphelios.
초반에 뱀픽 과정에서 판테온까지 나왔을 때
During the pick and ban, as we saw Pantheon, we thought that would be a Pantheon mid.
다 늘어놓고 보니까
But at the end of the draft, we saw Pantheon heading over to the top lane. It was a very extreme style of draft. So if I can just push mid a lot and have priority, we knew that we will be able to turn the game around in the later phase of the game.
그리고 이제 팬들이 워낙 요즘에 최근에 굉장히 좋은 모습을 보이다 보니까 특히나 세트 승률 자체가 8승 4패로
You are now sitting on 8-4 game score here in LCK.
있는데 굉장히 기쁜 칭찬이잖아요.
And the fans are really happy to see you pop up.
않을 정도로 좋은 장면을 좀 보여준다. 이건 굉장히 대단한 선배들.
And some people even compare your play with Knight in the LPL.
일단 두 분 다 좀 내로라 하는
I mean,
잘하는 되게 미드라이너 분들이
I know that
같이 이제
some of
얘기가
the
나오면 되게
players that are
좋긴 한데
compared
그만큼
to me
잘하는
are
분들과
the
좀
best
같은
mid laners.
선상에 설수 있도록
So
더 노력해야
I just want to
된다는
do my best to deserve a spot right next to them.
굉장히 좋은데요.
인터뷰 저만 편안한 거 아니잖아요 지금. 편안한데.
자세부터 편하세요 지금.
네, 너무 편해요. 지금
흔들림이
엄청
전혀
편해요.
없어요.
네. 아 그러면 이 분위기를 타서 오늘
Fate
고릴라
having one of the best
선수가
interviews
고릴라
so far
형이죠.
here in the
네.
LCK, and
4점
today
시를
Gorilla
달성을 했습니다.
hit
오늘
the
그 부분에 대해서 뭐
4K
팀 내에서 뭐
assist
서로
mark
축하의
here
이야기나
in the
아니면
LCK.
그 전에 약간의 뭐 서로 뭐
Were the players
또 대화 뭐 이런 게 있었어요?
talking about it before the game? I mean, I heard that he is a support in real life.
아니라 그 대기 시간 뜬 전광판에 뜬 거를
We didn't really know that. We only we
미리 얘기를 한 거는
got
딱히
this
없고,
news
일단
right before the
눈앞에
game.
승리를 좀 급급했던 것 같아요.
but we were too busy to just chase for the victory right in front of us.
샌드박스의 번역기라서 센파고로 역할을 한다는 얘기를 들었어요.
And I heard
네, 그러면 이제 그것뿐만 아니라 오늘 4,000원씩 달성했는데
he is also the
고릴라 선수에게 한
AlphaGo
말씀
of
해주신다면
Sandbox, translating everything for the players and the Yamato.
범현이 형이 오늘 되게 잘해준 것도
Gorilla,
많아서
he did
되게
play
고맙고,
so well. So I'm
승리와
really
함께
grateful
4,000원씩도
for him
달성했으니까
and happy that we
서로 좀
got a
더
win and
기쁠
the
거라고
4,000
생각하고 앞으로도
assists here in
번역
the
잘
LCK.
부탁드립니다.
And please keep your hard work with the
번역 잘
translation. Thank
부탁드립니다.
you.
네, 이런 얘기 잘 들었어요.
와.
자, 오늘 충분히 그 플레이뿐만 아니라 전반적인 분위기 자체가 얼마나 좋은지를 느낄 수 있었고
We could really
패기도 한번 우리가 느낄 수
tell
있습니다.
how
다음
much of a
경기 이제
great
5연승을
time Sandbox is having as a team.
K팀이다.
And your next opponent will be KT Roaster. What's your mindset for that series?
일단 저희가 어느 팀이든 방심하지 않고 저희
No matter who our opponents are, we won't let our guards down and we will always do our best. We already have taken them down earlier in the split, so we will actually try our best to not let our guards down. This will be the end of the interview with Fate from Sandbox Gaming, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of Fate's interview alone, giving a wonderful interview, as the Creamcasters did point out. And people comparing him tonight, that's the first I've heard, but Fate is looking pretty good. I don't know if he's quite there yet, but if he continues to play very well, then maybe we'll see in the future. But definitely has been a spark here for the fiery streak that they are on. Sandbox, that is.
They're on a 4-game winning streak right now. They're -3, just below Dynamics. And we'll see what this ends up meaning.
I mean, right now it's only really 1 game difference from Afrika. If they win and Afrika lose,
Yeah.
to potentially take 5th spot, which is pretty insane.
So this is definitely going to be interesting. What ends up happening in round 2.
Imagine it's Sandbox again, and it's like for the
really
6th split in a row, we have the same 5 teams in playoffs. Yeah.
Well, Hanwha Life versus DRX tomorrow to kick things off, and then Afrika versus Does Wanna Go.
Yeah.
Which is what Damwon has become. And that's going to be tomorrow's matchup for Friday. This will be interesting to see.
Yeah. That's going to be you and Atlas bringing us the cast. I will be watching you guys. And, yeah, it's going to be a big second match. The first one could be the stomp of the century if Hanwha Life don't do something. Because DRX still looking really strong and still going really well, whereas Hanwha Life hasn't taken a win in a series just yet. So could be a bit of a stomp, guys. But either way, it was a bit longer today. We did have SeolHaeOne Prince nearly come back there up against Sandbox, but they did take it in the end. Either way, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, have a good night. See you later.
World has changed and I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd see. You've always believed and have faith in me. You'll always be my hero. I love you for everything you've done. You'll always be my hero. Faith in you like the rising sun. I feel so strong. I feel the freedom to be who I can be. You'll always be my hero. Give me everything I need. Everything I need. You have faith in me. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If Always there in the dark, I see